So our first presenter is going to be Kevin Donagan. His title is Crowdsourced.
You're working out the kinks.
Working out the kinks, right. Guinea pig.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm a visual artist, and like many of us, I've crafted most of my work in solitude, and that's been awesome, but it also has its limitations. And so as a radical experiment in 2023, I began crowdsourcing analog art at a local art festival. The concept was simple. I made a sign and then invited other people to paint on it with practically no rules. I'd stop people and say, hey, do you want to paint my sign? You can't mess it up because hope will be there no matter what. This is an exciting alternative to the gallery model where viewers are generally told where to stand, what to read, and not to touch. In this case, touching was the whole point. Not only could viewers interact with the work, but they could shape its trajectory. And then I got to be a witness to the whole thing. Some folks just made a small mark before moving on, while others invested serious time and energy and just contributed amazing imagery. Dozens of people worked on it over the course of 8 hours, and then at the end, it was done. I didn't change a thing, and it was glorious. So later that year, I staged a second project at Art Hop. My approach was similar, but there were a few modifications, different word, LEDs, a little more dimensional, and it was up for 3 days. Oh, and no spray paint. I learned my lesson the first time. The children were amazing. They knew intuitively what to do. They'd see paint and brushes and white space and just go for it. Adults tended to be a little bit more hesitant, and they'd ask, like, are you sure we can paint? Like, anything? But most people caught on eventually. But I heard that some adults say, I haven't painted since second grade, or I'm not an artist, but I'll give it a try. And sometimes the work was so swarmed that I couldn't see what was happening, but that just added to the excitement. And meanwhile, many talented local artists also contributed, and their cameos are all over the work. So while I started the thing, set it in motion, it really felt like this was art that had a life of its own. I just got to watch it grow while washing paintbrushes and cheerleading. I since learned that this is not a unique approach to art making. Many artists, local and international, have acted as facilitators in this way. But what's special to me is that this art is really rooted in place, in the people and culture of Burlington, which is fitting because I, too, am rooted here. I have connections and trust in this community, which underpins the work, which is not to say that it's not messy and unpredictable, but it's also colorful, diverse, and caring. For me, this work embodies all of that and vibrates with vitality. After that, I did the next logical thing and let people paint on me while wearing a white suit, cowboy hat, and custom mask. This time, I was the canvas, an artist, and participant, and witness, all in one, which was way outside my comfort zone, but was one hell of a growth opportunity. I had prepared myself for awkwardness, but was disarmed by the intimacy. Sensing the brushes on my skin, breath on my neck, and prolonged eye contact made me feel really connected to the people painting me. Some folks even asked for consent before touching, which was very sweet. Ironically, it was also strangely impersonal at times when multiple people were working on me at once. Sometimes I'd go to shift my weight and someone behind me would say, hey, I'm working on something back here. Be careful. It was exhilarating to tiptoe into performance and challenge my own conceptions of the personal and the public. It was also heartwarming to have people respond with joy, humor, surprise, and playful interaction. And now I have a fabulous outfit, which I do wear out on special occasions. And I have had people stop me on the street and be like, "Oh my God, I painted on you. That's my cat that I was working on." And that's just more connection. This year, the crowdsourcing continued at Art Hop. I made 4 more Paint Me sculptures. But instead of simple signs, they had a little bit more character and new ways to interact. But they still revolved around the same simple concept and very few rules. Like other projects, people showed up and jumped at the opportunity to get their hands dirty, even in the rain, which confirmed for me that almost everyone craves an opportunity to be creative, especially if it's spontaneous, loose, low stakes, and non-judgmental. And for me personally, the experience of collaborating has forever changed my process. I do still spend a lot of time alone in the studio, but now I hanker for the excitement of and energy and variety of crowdsourcing. When I'm working by myself, I sometimes think, like, where is everyone? These experiences have opened me up to other forms of collaboration and expanded the scope of my practice. They have changed my aesthetic. They've introduced me to new friends and deepened old connections. They have given me invaluable perspective on myself and my town, so they really feel like gifts. For me, these projects represent a meaningful and ongoing dialogue with the Burlington community. I've worked hard to make them happen, but feel like the effort has been repaid tenfold. When I look at this work, I think, wow, we did this. So thank you, Burlington. I couldn't have done it without you.